can I retweet or?
Okay, well, that was a very interesting intro, John. A little different than what we're used to, but nevertheless, at least it wasn't football. Hey, I want to welcome everyone to our another Let Him Run podcast. We looks like we lost Ed for a minute there. Well, I know he's going to come back, and we certainly
he'll be back.
Want Ed to be a part of the show. There's no doubt. I see he's back in, so let me get him back on the stage. And there he is. Hey, Ed, welcome back.
I missed you guys so much. I hurried back.
Well, it's good to have you back, Ed, and we're very happy to have our Let Him Run podcast show tonight. It's not just another Let Him Run podcast show. I can tell you that right now. It is a very special Let Him Run podcast show. We're happy to have two special guests here. I'm going to wish good evening to our East Coast people. Myself and Gus, we're stuck on the East Coast. Am I right, Gus?
That is true.
And our two West Coast guys out there, Ed and John. John, if you take a minute, please, and introduce our special guest tonight. We're very happy to have him here. John, if you could give us a little intro to these gentlemen.
All right, we'll go with our returning guest first, who helped us out last Thursday night with the pre-entries, fun show with Gus Alonso from Tampa area, and king and expert of Gulfstream Park, the championship meet. Nothing like it in the country except that championship meet. Fred would attest to that, and definitely provides his selection on Briz spotlight selections every weekend, and he's got a great Breeders Cup special edition for Saturday. Up there available now, so go to Briz and check that out for Gus. Welcome, Gus.
I appreciate it. Great to be on with you guys again. Had a great time last week. Looking forward to it.
All right, now we've got another very special guest. Became friends with Ed probably 5-6 years ago. We've been a lot of joint groups together, and handicapping and gambling together. We hung out at the NHC when we both qualified. It was a lot of fun in Vegas. Different hats he's worn over the years, but now he is Horse Racing Nation. Ed, what is your exact title with Horse Racing Nation, and what do you do there?
Vice president of content. So whether it's data to help horse players or editorial stuff to keep people up to date on all the news and racing, to help shepherd that for Horse Racing Nation. And part of it is I get to come out here to Breeders Cup.
All right.
Awesome.
That's it. Sounds good.
Yes, and we appreciate you guys coming on. Very much looking forward to your insight and some thoughts on these races coming up. We're going to cover the 5 races tomorrow. On Friday, we're going to take an opportunity to make some comments on each race. From what John gave me a little heads up, this should be quite an interesting 60 minutes of discussion with these horses. But how about we'll start with the first Breeders' Cup race tomorrow, the Breeders' Cup Juvenile Turf Sprint. And Gus, I'm going to let you lead off this conversation about this race, Gus. So what's your thoughts on this race, my friend? And then we'll go up to John and then down to Ed.
I'll tell you what, there's a couple races, especially pick 5 players that we probably want to spread later on. Actually, spread here and maybe go a little skinny later on. And I'm going to spread here in this race. To me, it's kind of wide open. I see, don't even know the pace scenario exactly, but I ended up with the horse number 10 for Cy-Fair for George Weaver. I mean, he does a great job with sprinters. And I don't know if the 6-1 is going to hold up, but I have him on tap, but I am going to use a few more as well. Obviously, Lenny Lou outside. I think that horse has a lot of speed. Had a nice win at Gulfstream. Going to use him as well. And a few other ones. There's a few logical ones. Schwarzenegger, which had that front running win at Keeneland. Right. He's also one that you got to use on top, especially if you're a multi-race wager type of better, which I am, and probably go deep here. So I don't have a real strong opinion on someone. So I'm going to spread out in this race.
All right, I think this race is going to go through True Love. It's not my top pick, but very classy, overseas shipper there. But I think my top pick will be the 8, Havana Anna, who probably at 5 furlongs may have had a chance to defeat True Love last time. So I think Havana Anna might be better equipped for the 5 furlong distance. And another horse, I studied on recently was the 1 Brussels for Aidan O'Brien. The race he's coming out of, 5 furlongs. They set the juvenile course record in that race, and he missed by a nose to Beckford's Folly, which is very highly sought after, horse there. So, he ran into a good one. The 5 furlongs, he'll save all the ground on the inside, should get a good trip where the other ones are coming from the outside. And I think, Cy-Fair, would maybe close and pick up pieces. So I would be about the 1, 8, 9, and 10. And the only thing that scares me now is Schwarzenegger. He is fast out of the gate, and he will gun it out of there. Wesley Ward has done this in this race multiple times. Golden Pal, gets out of there by 4 or 5. And the worst thing in the world is that, turning for home, Wesley Ward, 5-1, 4-length lead, and you're holding your breath like, I ain't got him. What am I, so tough to leave him out, but I don't think he's ready, third race right now. So I'm going to make the 8 my top pick, Havana Anna. What say you, Ed?
Bad news is I agree with Gus. Not bad because I don't
That's always
trust my
bad.
handicapping, but bad because there's no way we're going to get 6-1. And I'll tell you, the other person who agrees with us is Fat Bald Guy, and he does not pick horses who go off higher than their morning line. So I get it. I mean, yeah, the horse makes sense. Like it fits this race. I thought Gus made a good point referencing the pace scenario because it is a little chaotic. It's a 5 furlong, 1 turn turf sprint. I mean, there really doesn't need to be a pace scenario. If one of these horses is just faster than the others, that's all that matters going
It's good
5.
night.
Yeah, course is going to be firm, so that's a bit of a wild card. I will say, like if Cy-Fair takes the money that the touts seem to be on him, myself included, I'm going to be nimble here. Gus mentioned the pick 5. It starts here. It's an all Breeders' Cup pick 5. There's also a $3 all turf pick 3 into the other
Right.
2 Breeders' Cup races, so that's definitely an option to keep in mind. But if Cy-Fair is less than a $10 horse, it's back to the drawing board for me. And I'm not going to let Aidan O'Brien beat me if Cy-Fair ends up taking a lot of money. John mentioned the daughter's horse, Havana Anna, but Mission Central is 20-1 on the morning line and one last out. Now, granted, that's not a stakes, but that's just one of those situations. If you're spreading, you can't let Aiden beat you with a $50 horse. So I just throw that name out there to pay attention to who's training who and who's riding. Because if you're spreading, that's one I would want. But I do like Cy-Fair best.
Well, I'm going to have to agree with you because that was my number 1 pick. I just watched the replay of the last time that horse raced.
6-1, not looking good.
No.
Yeah. So he closed like tremendously with a tremendous turn of foot into a 5 furlong race. And I think the 10 hole where he's going to be starting the race, that fits perfect for his style. I don't disagree with John. I think John mentioned the number 1 Brussels. O'Brien, besides just being good, he's tremendous with 2-year-olds at 45%. I mean, he's 30% or better than anything. And the rail seems to be a big spot in this race, typically, according to some information from Brisnet. But, we all kind of looked at a lot of horses in this race. And I think 100%, if you're going to do a pick 5, I agree, Ed. You don't want to get beat by an O'Brien horse that's going to go off with some prices. So it's definitely a spread race. So I think we have a lot of thoughts on race number 6. So if we want to move on, the next race is race 7, the NetJets Breeders' Cup Juvenile Fillies. This is a very interesting race. And John, why don't you jump in there?
I totally hate this race. I just can't come up with a strong opinion. I can't lean on the favorites. Explorer for Baffert, got the 2-turn experience, got better, with that. So maybe she is that good. Tommy Joe, who, got put up by disqualification, even though she wasn't going to go by Percy's Bar, no matter what. They ran around 2 more times. Percy's Bar was beating Tommy Joe, but Tommy Joe's undefeated. Can she bounce back to that, high buyer? Meaning, big step up for Mike McCarthy off a maiden race. Iron Orchard was just sold in a private sale for $2.5 million. But maybe the right running.
John, we lost you, buddy.
Too good.
Well, John will get back in. I've seen him come and go many times before. So
Yes.
we like him
The
more
traveling
when he
handicapper.
comes and when he goes.
I got booted out.
But while we're waiting for him to come back, oh, there he is. Good, John, you're back, buddy.
I thought you were traveling again.
Yeah. I got a phone call, your fan, so I almost wanted to answer, didn't. So yeah, I would take the 1 and the 9 as my principal.
Uh-oh. All right. Well, we know John likes the 1 and the 9 as his principals. Hopefully he knows that he's having a little trouble, but he just entered the studio again. So it says he's at the stage. Come on, John. Come on, John. You're spinning.
There he is. He's
There you
got a
are,
different
John. Welcome
spot.
back, John.
He's gonna rotate around our little four
I
box
see that.
until he's-
Until he gets it right.
Like playing 4 squares.
There he is. He doesn't even know he's on.
There he is. It's just, yeah.
It's yes.
All right, I'm done. I really don't have an opinion here. Maybe the 1 and the 9 I'll play around with, but that's all I got.
Laggy.
I don't trust the favorites.
Ed, why don't you jump in on this race, Ed, and then let's see what you're
Yeah.
thinking here on this juvenile fillies.
I don't like the favorites either, so I'm definitely swinging, and I got a bigger fish even than John, given the morning line 15-1. But I went to the 8 Super Corridora. I like the fact that this one won the last race, lifetime best, and sometimes with as horses progress in the maiden ranks, this question about it's your third, fourth, fifth career start, like who are you beating, especially later in the year. But the important thing for me, in addition to getting the job done and winning the race, is this was a significant step forward ratings wise. The Brisnet number is way up. The Ragavan sheet is good. This filly clearly enjoyed the time off. Like whatever, if there was an issue or Sadler just think she needed more time. I don't know. I actually went to his barn this morning because I was definitely wanting to sniff around and see what the deal was, if I was crazy for picking this horse and he wasn't there. So I don't know why there was a layoff, if it was issue related or, she wanted to grow into herself. But I like that comeback. And yeah, she's 15-1. She hasn't run in the stakes yet, but that number is competitive. Like she doesn't have to improve much. She's going to be on the lead from an outside post. So I'm going to take a shot at a big price.
Okay. I like that. Gus, what do you got?
You know what? These guys going pretty deep. I'm pretty skinny here. I do like Percy's Bar a lot. I really was impressed with that 2-turn race at Keeneland. The DQ to me was very questionable. I think, like John said, I don't think Tammy Joe was getting by her if they ran another way around the track. So I really
Totally
like
agree.
her. Ben Colebrook was to bring her here. I think this horse has learned from that experience. That was a short stretch. This is a little bit longer. I like her a lot. She's my top choice here. I do respect a couple others I might sprinkle in. Obviously, Explorer, and also the one horse, the Iron Orchard, the New York bred, which was, as John said, was recently privately purchased. That horse has a look as well, but I got a pretty strong opinion here on Percy's Bar.
Yeah, one thing I can say about Percy's Bar, real quick, when I was leaving the stables to see my horse work out, John Service, Kentucky Derby winning trainer with Smarty Jones, the only horse he mentioned the whole Breeders' Cup. When I said I'm leaving tomorrow morning, he's like, "Boy, that Percy's Bar, what did in a Keeneland race? Man, she looked awesome. I think she was awesome." So he told me that
I did too.
looks, and so yeah, definitely you got support of somebody that actually knows champions.
I would think so. That I would qualify him as somebody who knows champions and somebody who knows shirts. And someone's commenting on your shirt. I don't know if you see that comment. I want you to read it before I put it away.
I saw that.
There's more where that came from.
That's a fair comment. I will say though, I'm sensitive to name dropping, but I do have to give a shout out to the guy who gave me the shirt. Jason Beam sent it to me as a gift. So
Oh, nice.
Wow.
he clearly has very good taste, and I'm happy to wear it as a fan of Cincinnati cuisine.
All right, very good.
But
So,
Skyline.
so
I don't know where he got it. I just know where I got it.
all we know, Ed, is you're wearing it, and it looks good.
That's right.
All right, so the horse that John touched on that I kind of like is the number 9 horse, Lawali. This horse has been getting better and better as the distance increases. He's got a very good high last time pace closing number, which I think helps in a race like this. All these young horses are going to develop. We know that's going to happen, and I think she has a good chance. Flavian Pratt's getting on her for the first time. I think that's kind of a positive. So I think that horse at 10-1 again has a decent early speed to keep up with some of the front runners. Not a front running horse and not a speed horse, but I think has a good chance to close. And I think with the speed or with the buyer speed figure numbers getting better every race, that's another horse I think that has a shot. But, again, as John mentioned, he said he hates this race. I'm not going to use a strong word like I hate the race, but I think it's a tough race to kind of go with. So let's see if we find a race, John, that you love. Maybe let's go to the 8th race, the Juvenile Fillies Turf. And I am going to let Gus lead this one off, Gus, because I know you talked about earlier about a horse here, I believe.
I do. I like the one, Ultimate Love. Did you guys watch the
Yes.
replay there at Laurel? I mean, those fractions were slow. And I'll tell
How
you
about
what.
that morning line though?
Yeah, it might be a little off.
No, I mean the morning line at Laurel.
Oh,
It's amazing.
yeah. Went
Oh,
down
come on.
Went down.
I make the line there. I'm fishing for compliments.
It was
I did not know
solid.
that. Sorry, Ed.
Yeah, 150, $150.
What
That
did
was
you have
pretty
her in her last start? What did you have the morning line?
5-2. It was fine.
Yeah.
I mean,
You
I
were
didn't
right
have her
on.
that low. Yeah.
Right
Yeah,
on.
I'll tell you what, she was so impressive. The way she just took off. Those fractions were slow. She did it comfortably. Live Oak from Beta gets the rail, and now she gets Johnny V. I mean, can he do anything wrong the last few weeks? This guy just turned 54 earlier this week, and I mean, right now I'd put him up as one of the top jocks, if not the top jock in the country. So I really think she gets the trip here. I love her a lot. Obviously, going to go to the outside with the obvious choice, the European for O'Brien Precise. I think it's just them two, and I'm going to lean on the one as my top choice, Ultimate Love.
I agree quite a lot there with you guys. I love the one, Ultimate Love. Johnny V, again, being on that horse is a tremendous positive for that gal. On the rail, I mean, Ed, you alluded to this in some of your information you were giving out in a 13 or a 14 horse field at 1 mile in Del Mar, 28 races. Any horse that's on the outside post, Ed, please help me if I'm not correct. That the
Yeah.
28
for
and 0 on the
28.
outside post.
Ouch.
Yeah. 0 for
And
28.
then
That's right.
Precise is 13. So, I mean, if you're looking for a reason to bet against, again, not to take anything away from that horse who's a top-notch quality European horse, no doubt. But 28 and 0 is a pretty solid number to look at, and that's kind of where I sit with what Gus said. I also kind of like the 9 Time to Dream. Irad Sticks. If this horse gets a clean break, I mean, had a little trouble getting out, and I think Irad's been riding real well. Obviously, one of the best jockeys in the country. So that's another horse that I like there.
All right, I'll go next here.
John, who you got, bud?
Yep, Precise obviously is, the hot horse, going to be probably 4 to 5 in his spot. This one developed, I think, a little bit quicker than Aidan O'Brien expected. It wasn't the top flight, filly for him, this whole year. It developed into that. So, whether this is on their radar or they're taking a chance here because strike while the iron's hot, is this too sharp for her? She benefited from a hot pace last time. So she's the goods, and I would expect her to be good. I'm going to go with the one horse, ultimate love. I just love that, Michael Trombetta for Mrs. Weber, Live Oak, Johnny Velasquez with, he has to be the hottest jockey, like Gus said, in the big races. So that turn of foot, just visually, the numbers backed it up, but visually it looked just so impressive that, he did everything asked of him. And to win turf races by 4 lengths, 6 lengths, 2 lengths, that's saying something. So just save all the ground. It should be an absolute perfect trip. Top of the lane, tip wide, and come running or find a seam. The 13 is going to have to work for it a little bit. Like Gus, 113, 13-1. If I'm going to sprinkle in other ones, Queen of Hawaii for Joseph O'Brien, and a crazy long shot to 10, Valentina at 30-1. I'm going to forgive that good turf. Didn't like the good turf at all, so I'm going to throw that race out. Other than that, last 2 races faced some really good ones. Green Spirit, Narissa, both came back to run on Arc Day, and they both came back to run great on Arc Day. Venetian Sun. So Valentina's kept some good company if you could forgive the good turf. So I'm not going to pass up the 30-1, 12-1 on Queen of Hawaii, but it's 113, 13-1 in the BCBC contest. Could be a full $600 exactus if I see fit.
Okay.
Nice.
Mm.
What do you think, Ed? How we feeling?
Well, when she drew 13 at 13, that obviously was a disappointment for those excited to see Precise. I will say, and doing this as long as I have, you sort of meet people from all over that come into the Breeders' Cup. Kind of know who to trust, who is maybe a homer and always pick certain horses.
Right.
There does seem to be a little air of she's just better than the rest of these to Precise. I still think, look, you're going to take 4 to 5 from post 13. I'm not, certainly not on the win end. Uh, we've all extolled, or you've all extolled the virtues of the rail horse. The only one I haven't heard mentioned that I do like quite a bit, that I feel like I'll definitely be slotting underneath, and then maybe if I'm right in other races, can be live on some pick 5 tickets. If I'm right elsewhere with the spread here. But Final Accord really interests me. Trainer
Yeah.
Mark Cassie, he's rules Woodbine, and he is more than comfortable leaving his horses at Woodbine. We saw with Nitrogen last year when she was in the Breeders' Cup Juvenile Fillies turf. She had run at Woodbine all year, all year up to that. And Final Accord kind of to me fits. He broke her maiden up there, could have stayed there. I see it as a big vote of confidence from Cassie that this one shipped into the States for the grade 3. Got the job done at a decent price in an 8-horse field. And we're going to get a much better price now in the Breeders' Cup. A win, she needs to be every bit of 15-1 for me to be excited to bet her from a win standpoint. But absolutely for me is my key underneath Precise. So Final Accord is the one I want in the number.
Okay.
I'll tell you what, just adding what Ed said on final score. In the second race, the horse number 8, Dr. Eng, you're going to maybe get a key off that horse because that horse was chasing final score and couldn't do nothing against final score. So if that horse runs well, it might, you might
Do you
have a
mean
little
Final
more
Accord?
confidence. Yep. Dr. Eng race the 8-horse in the second race.
All right.
Okay, hey, got some good thoughts on that race by each of us. So how about we go to the next race, the race 9, the juvenile. I'm going to start this off because John and I talked about a couple horses in this race, and I think we both landed on the horse that we'd
Which
like.
one was it?
The number 2 horse, Blackout Time, ridden by Irad Ortiz for the first time. Buyer speed figures are looking good. In addition to that, this horse ran second to Ted Nafi. And then again, some of the folks who listen to some of the analysts that talk about the gallop out, some hate it, some like it, looked very strong galloping out. And sometimes that can be a positive. Sometimes it can mean nothing. But I think a horse that looked as good as that horse ran and came second to the likely favorite in this race is got the lone E speed figure from Brisnet. That doesn't mean they have to be, in the lead, but just a horse that can handle themselves up front. And I just think with Irad Ortiz for the first time on this horse for Kenny McPeak, I think that's a positive. I did watch the replays of that race when John and I talked about that second race that he ran when he broke his maiden for the first time. He won by 9, and there was a field of 12 runners in that field, and he looked very impressive winning that, and came back the next race and came second to one of the better horses in the field, if not one of the best horses in the field. So that's kind of why I like the number 2 Blackout. John, we'll jump in. John, we talked about this horse. Let me hear you back me up, John. Come on, brother.
All right. Yeah.
Leaving him
I do
hanging.
like no, Ted Noffey's probably the most, most logical winner of the weekend, probably 3 to 5 area. He's done everything asked of him. He's answered every question. Brant, the $3 million purchase for Baffert. I think, I'm not sure he could get this distance, especially, third race of his life. So he might get the lead, and Ted Noffey's just going to sit there and not let him get too far away. And I would just expect Ted Noffey to pass him in the lane, open up, Brant folds up, and here comes Blackout Time, or even the one Intrepido to come running behind him. So I could see like an 8-2-1, 8-1-2. I'm just going to be against Brant in this spot. If he goes wire to wire and explodes by 3 or 4, I'm probably going to be in big trouble with pick 5s and the BCBC. So the only thing with Blackout Time, Fred, you mentioned that race. He won by 9. He beat I did. And last week on our podcast, we talked about, and that's who I picked in that Churchill Downs race on Sunday, the Street Sense. And he just didn't seem like he liked the distance. He just, flattened out. He hung the entire stretch. So has me a little off of him a little bit, but I just think that, and you mentioned Alone E. I don't see him, on the lead, or, I'd see him, sitting back a little bit, making that run similar to what he did against Ted Noffey last time at Keeneland. Intrepido, Jeff Mullins, heard an interview with him, and that first time was way too short. They didn't even really try with the horse. They knew he wanted 2 turns. So he's doing what he's doing now, 2 turns. He's going to save all the grounds. I could just see him, passing. One scenario that's just crazy outside the box, that's what if, Brant really gets going, Ted Noffey engages around the turn to try to keep pace and uses more than he wants to. And then his awesome late kick in the stretch is not there. Brant folds up, and then Ted Noffey is not the same one. The 1 and the 2 could come as a team and maybe pass him, and you might have like an off the wall, like 1-2 finish or 2-1, something like that. So, but I'm leaning on Ted Noffey very heavily in all contest wagers and pick 5s.
Okay. Why are you laughing, Gus? What did John say? Something funny about that?
Go ahead, Gus.
I thought he was going to back you up on Blackout Time. And he said he's leaning on Ted Noffey. I tell you what,
Yeah.
I was in the same frame of thought as John before. I was trying to beat Ted Noffey, but the more I look at it, go look at that race again at Keeneland. I mean, Blackout Time, actually at the turn, it's the short stretch on mile and 16th. He came up to him, and this horse found another gear. He was like laughing at him. He just took off again. This is a real horse. I just don't see anybody beating this horse at all. I don't know if he's going to be 3 to 5, 2 to 5. I don't see him losing at all. I'm going to try to get Intrepido for second. Very versatile horse. I think he comes up, and maybe you get some value there, but I don't see where none of these horses are in this horse's stratosphere. With that second gear that he showed, I mean, that was impressive to me. I just think even a longer stretch, he's going to be gone, in my opinion. I think he's just too strong for them.
What do you say, Ed?
I'm absolutely in the Gus camp here. Ted Noffey is my most likely winner of the Breeders' Cup. Definitely choose those words carefully. I don't see him as the best bet because he's going to be hammered. But he's leanable to me.
Sure.
He's not one I'm looking to get cute with. I think we have reasons, and we'll get to the juvenile turf in a moment. We have reasons that those favorites, as good as they've looked on the track so far, may be up against it. Ironically, Ted Noffey also in the far outside post, but he has been for his 3 previous starts, and that didn't matter. It won't matter here. It's only a field of 7 with the scratch. he's absolutely the horse to beat. And I actually would say that, like, there's some times where, great horses, they're in certain fields where everyone else, they don't want to take on the big name, and second isn't all that great. Blackout Time absolutely ran what in some years would have been a winning race in the
Yeah.
Breeders' Futurity. I'm going to be
Okay.
very keen to see what the exacta payout is, to just run it back, because if Brant takes money, maybe Intrepido is, the local here in Southern California winner of the local prep. If the exacta looks like, Blackout Time, basically sort of a second win wager under Ted Noffey, I'm taking a long look at that exacta, so I'm eager to see what it is. And I'm going to throw out Mr. AP as just a complete chaos bomb. And I'd feel pretty foolish if my angle in the juvenile fillies, which was, okay, here's a horse who broke through in the maiden race last out. He's the same. Obviously, there are some differences. He debuted in a maiden claimer, but he was 11-10 that day on debut. So, they thought they had some talent for $150,000 price tag, and he
Mhm.
shows up here. A win truly would be a surprise, but he's just one of those at the number, even underneath Ted Noffey, you're going to get a premium. So, for those who have the capital that, maybe want to get crazy but don't want to beat the big chalk, I think you could do worse than Mr. AP. So I am, what is that, 8-2-3 in here.
Yep. All right. That sounds like some interesting thoughts there, and sounds like we're all, well, perhaps most looking to see Ted Noffey become the next big horse, and we'll all be looking forward to that race tomorrow. Gus, did you have any final words on that race, or you're still Ted Noffey ready to go?
Yeah, I
Ted
mean,
Noffey corner.
like I mentioned before, I was trying to look to beat him, but
Right.
I don't see it. I don't see it
Don't see
happening.
that happening.
I think the value might
Okay.
be in the exotics, and Ed's
That's
got a
that,
good
right.
one underneath. I think Intrepido is a little better than giving credit. I think he might, it'll add a little value. Obviously, Brant, obviously, is, it's going to chalk out the exacta. I'd rather have Intrepido for second, but with that gear he showed, I just have a hard time going against him.
Well, one thing
I
I'll
gotta
add,
go back.
I've heard you mention some Brisnet stuff before, and I, obviously Gus's product available there, and I spent 10 years at Brisnet. And one thing I data mined that I noticed through the years is 2-year-olds this time of year, late summer, fall, when they run a triple digit late pace rating, that means
Huge,
something as a
huge.
2-year-old. And Ted Noffey, uh, A, has done it twice, but B, he's done it after pressing the pace. And a lot of times when you see those late pace ratings, they're coming from behind in sprints. And then I like to bet those horses when they stretch out to 2 turns. Ted Noffey's doing it, A, sprinting in a grade one, B, in a route where he pressed the pace. Uh, I mean, it just all adds up. So Ed, we get it. He's 4-5. Like, you don't have to go on and on, but like, this is just one of those. I just feel like you're really having to be creative if you think some other horse is going to offer better value in the win end. I mean, if he's 2-5, maybe that'll be the case, but he's the goods.
Well, that's going to be an interesting race for us to watch for a lot of reasons, and that information is definitely valuable. I'm looking forward to seeing a lot of races, and after hearing some of these comments we just made here, I'm definitely looking forward to seeing that race. And Ed alluded earlier to the next race, the Breeders' Cup Juvenile Turf, 1 mile again with some interesting post position draws. John, I know when you were watching the post position draws on Monday, you had lots of comments about it. Couldn't believe it. Things I never saw this before, John. And I
It
think
was the
that's showing
wackiest
up
post
right
position
here.
draw ever. Is insane that all these big time favorites are drawing the outside post. Fierceness draws the one. I mean, Copian enters the sprint, draws the one.
It's like
I mean,
the
you couldn't make
NFL
this
was
up.
scripted.
It was like scripted for chaos. It's like, are you kidding me?
NBA
All this
lottery.
happened. Wow. So one thing I want to go back to now after hearing Gus and Ed, I think the Breeders' Cup challenge bet for me now is going to be a minimum Ted Noffey $300 trifecta. Ted Noffey over the 1-2
Oof.
and try to get Brant out of there. So
Nice.
that's I think my minimum now. I think I'm locked into that after hearing that
Like
we're
that.
all
All
in the
right, John. I like that.
same boat.
Did you just
Good
have
one.
another one of those moon dust beers I just saw you take a sip of? Is that what that's really called, John? Moon dust?
What's it called
Space,
here?
space,
Elysian
Space
Space Dust.
space
Base
dust.
stuff.
8.2 American IPA. What the heck am I
Oh,
doing?
boy.
Oh,
But it is
8.2.
$2 off.
Yeah.
It's happy hour.
That's got some punch.
And you're driving to Vegas tonight?
That's news to
Oh,
him.
boy.
Yeah.
Oh, God. All right, listen, I would like to take the lead on this next race because I really have to get some insight from Ed on this because I'm going to put this little graphic up here. I want to see
All right.
if I can get the feedback
This
that
is
I'm
all new to
looking
us. We're
for.
hoping we can put graphics up. This is big time for this podcast.
So
If we can learn how to put
the
this.
Kentucky Downs curse. Now, so
Ofer.
Ed, did I interpret the information that you put out that a Kentucky Down winner prep race, whoever won a prep race in Kentucky, has never won a Breeders' Cup race? Was that accurate? Did I misread that?
Well, that is accurate, but it's any horse who started at Kentucky Downs has never won a Breeders' Cup race.
Wow. Goose egg.
Oh, for 125.
Well, oh God!
Wow.
So when he said
Wait,
they
wait.
started, you mean the last race that they had?
Last race, if they ran at Kentucky Downs and then ran at Keeneland and then the Breeders' Cup, any race in the same calendar year, they have never won.
It's not like it's 10
I guess
starters.
Now, for many years,
Kentucky
like
Downs first, the Kentucky
Kentucky
Downs
Downs
curse is
wasn't
real. Then.
Kentucky Downs, but
Yeah.
whatever the stat was before last year, let's say 118.
Okay.
And people, oh well, Cogburn's going to break that this year, and he was terrible at odds on in the turf sprint, awful.
Yes.
Now was that because of
Oh,
Kentucky
really?
Downs? I think it's a novelty. I mean, I like Sci-Fair, is I think all
Yeah.
of us and everyone watching and all their
Sure.
family also does. And he ran a Kentucky Down, so it's one of those like I can't imagine ever like really liking a horse and saying, "Oh, he ran a Kentucky Downs," but like you look at that and it just starts to you want to know why. Uh, so
Okay.
proceed with caution with the Kentucky Down shippers.
It's almost
All
like
right,
the
so-
Remsen winner with the Derby.
Okay.
Yeah, exactly. And the
All
other
right,
thing,
okay.
and this only goes one start back. So this is horses who made their literal prep race at Kentucky Downs. I think it was 0 for 48. It's 0 for obviously, but only 3 horses have even hit the board,
Wow.
and all 3 were trained by Wesley Ward. So any other trainer has not even hit the board from a Kentucky Downs race.
Shoosh.
Wow.
All right.
That's
Well,
some
that is good
information.
news. That's
We
good
bring
news,
on
Ed.
guests that provide this. That's the kind of guests that we bring on the show that can provide that.
The only thing
How about
is,
this stat?
go ahead.
What's the chance of a Charlestown winner, Charlestown Classic, and a Breeders' Cup Sprint? Has that ever been done?
I'll find out.
No.
I would venture to
I-
say
I got
nobody
my
has run a
query.
Charlestown. I know Gus will have a lot to say
I mean,
about that for tomorrow.
we've had Prairie Meadow shippers win the classic, so
That can happen.
Yeah.
But not Charlestown.
not Charlestown.
Well,
Yeah.
I
Fort Larned.
brought
Maybe
up the
Skippy
Kentucky Downs-
Longstocking one day.
He'll run there 4 more times before he runs again in the Breeders' Cup.
I got the scoop. He's coming back in the Harlan's Holiday.
Oh my God.
Nice.
Skippy.
Pointing to the Pegasus.
That's right. They're gonna take a shot.
Well, I'm going to talk about the horse that is, unfortunately, after hearing this, I am still going to like this horse at least a little bit. The number two horse here, Street Beast, ridden by Lon Machado. This horse has been getting better and better each time. Even though the quirky Kentucky Downs course, he won the last 2 times. I just think this horse has a good style for this race. He's going to be up front. I think there may be some other horses up front with him, obviously based on the speed scenario here. but I just kind of have a sense that this horse, and again, Ben Colebrook, not a trainer. I know he's certainly not up there with some of the trainers that are entering horses in this race, but the way he ran those last two races, even though it was at Kentucky Downs, I know they got that weird configuration and the uphill, I guess, kind of uphill stretch. This horse had a lot left going in that, and won by 7 in a decent field where there's 9 horses. Again, I know some of them are not certainly going to be the quality horses he's facing here, but I don't know if that 10-1 morning line is accurate. I mean, maybe it should have been more like 20-1. Ed, what do you think about that morning line?
I think David Aragona being he made the line, and he's the best at it. He was probably a little had his hands tied because Gasta in a 14 horse field was 9-5, so that really eats
Right.
up at things. I think you'll get 10-1. I wouldn't be too excited about any more than that though. If you do you
Okay.
think it's low or high?
He thinks
I
it's
think it's
low.
low. I think it's
Low,
low.
yeah. Yeah, I guess 15. I mean, well, let me put it this way, because I'm looking at it and he's just to the
He is a
outside.
two-time winner, though.
Street East is 10-1 on the line. Outfielder is 10-1 as well. And there is zero chance outfielder does not take less money than
Yeah.
Street Beast. So when you think of it that way, okay, outfielder is going to be lower. That makes Street Beast higher. So yeah, you might be looking at 12 or 15-1.
Yeah.
Okay, got it. All right. Take it away, John.
All right, this race, when I heard Gastad was coming over and everything I heard about him, I was going to try to beat him at all costs. He draws the 14. I'm going to try to beat him at all costs. But going through the field here, looking at it, I just can't find the horse that's going to beat him. And when you look at the time form ratings, it's not even close. I mean, he's 9 points better than everybody here. He's 108, 109, one time form. Everybody else is just near 100, 98, 99. So if you look at that equation with precise is, time form is 1 or 2 or 3 points better than a lot of the people in the field. Gastad is 9 or 10 better. And I was trying to beat him at all costs. And with Ed Stat, outside, and he's a big burly horse that takes a while to get going. He's not going to be push button that can, turn it on whenever he wants. He's got to work out his trip, but he's just almost, so much better than he. I just can't find somebody to, really to lay in against them. But the only one I'm going to take a shot with is the 6, North Coast, who's 30-1 with Joseph O'Brien. Again, it's the race at the Curragh in the yielding turf, in the rainstorm, in the rain, that I'm going to try to forgive. And then basically, if you throw that race out, can compete with these. I think Delmar fits this horse by Starman. He freshened up a bit. He after the July 24th race, they gave him some time off, and they're kind of pointing for this race. So they just happened to run him at the Curragh where it was yielding and just bad conditions. So I'm going to try to forgive that race and hope he rebounds, and that's why you're going to get 30, 40-1. So tough to go around Gastad. I just can't find nobody else to go with him. The 6 is my crazy bomb.
All right, let's hear from Gus on that one. What do you say, Gus?
I'll tell you what, upon further review
talked about
last
it.
week, I
We
said,
were talking about
the races at Woodbine coming in the summer, the Natama, and even the Woodbine Mile were a little weak. After watching videos in a few more times, I was pretty impressed with Argo's run in the summer, the grade 1 summer. He was way back. The pace was pretty solid, but I tell you what, he did get first jump on the European favorite, but the way he finished, I was really impressed. I think he's going to get a similar trip here, somewhere mid-pack. And I like the way he finished. I think he's got a big shot. Also, obviously, Gastad on the outside, you got to respect. And then you had mentioned outfielder was going to take a little more money than the 10-1. I mean, they had a lot of spots they could have put this horse in. Why pick this spot? He's never gone 2 turns. He's by Speightstown, 2 turns. I mean, he's got the breeding on the bottom. This horse is very interesting. It's Wesley Ward, 10-1. You might get 7 to 8-1 range, but I mean, to me, that's tremendous value on that horse. I respect that horse a ton. So those are the 3 I'm keen on. But I do like Argos on second look. The summer stakes, I think his finish was pretty impressive. I know that the favorite was catching him at the end, but I tell you what, he did enough to show me that he can go. And once he turns for home, if he finds a gap, I think he can get it done here.
And what do you say? How we feel about that?
Yeah, well, I mean, the only thing I'll add on Gustave is I'm a believer in the Ragozin numbers, and I know some people, poo-poo the international stuff. They put in the time, and obviously it's a totally different ball game than making numbers for American racing. But I trust them as performance figures. I think they get you in the ballpark, and I have not seen a 2-year-old European runner come here with single digit Ragozin numbers. As a 2-year-old, and Gstaad has two, so it just seems like
Oh, wow.
he's better than these. So he's definitely the top pick. Uh, we'll see what I can do with that because after Ted Noffey, that's probably an $8 double. Number 10 of the ones we haven't mentioned yet, because I agree on outfielder, so I won't add anything there. But Ardija, 11 starts already. I mean, this horse is a machine. 5
Wow,
wins, and
pretty impressive.
this applies to most of the Europeans typically, so it's not like it's special to him. But I will note it here because it's actually a little bit of a price. But having run 11 times,
Okay.
toting 133, 128, 127, etc., gets in here at 122. Like he should perform, assuming he's not over the top after 11 starts. But that weight break is not insignificant. So whatever he's able to run over there,
Mm.
shedding 6, 7, 8, 9, even 10 pounds, I do think makes a difference. So,
And you get the European Jockey of the Year, Ocean
yeah,
Murphy.
and who has ridden this horse
Yeah,
among many riders who have been aboard, but he's been aboard twice, so he knows the deal. The Windsor Castle is a race at Royal Ascot, and he got the doors blown off. But I mean, that's for 2-year-olds at that time of year. Like that's
that's
the
huge.
race, and he was in it. So, 15 to 1, I think this horse is definitely usable.
All right. So one of the things, John, did you have something else to say about that?
No, I think that wraps up the 5 races. And just listening to the panel talk, our races we're going to go short are precise, and we all like the one ultimate Michael Trombetta's horse. So we could maybe get away short there if you're playing a pick 5 with 113. We all kind of like Ted Noffey. The other 3 races go as deep as your budget will allow, and
Yeah.
we kind of laid out a pick 5 ticket. So do what you want with it, but gave some interesting opinions there.
Yeah, I mean, I think, this is where putting in the work, not only to handicap, but, make smart plays comes in. Because I'm definitely basically going to like layer a grid where, okay, if Precise and Gastat, and obviously Ted Noffey, who's just definitely going to be a stone cold signal. But if all 3 win, like if Cy-Fair wins the first leg, who cares? I mean, it's a waste of any capital. I mean, even if I
Yeah.
sneak in my juvenile Phillies pick, like you're looking at maybe a $200 pick 5 for 50 cents with just one
Wow.
long shot. So, allow yourself to be right more than you're not, but figure out those races where, if I'm somewhat wrong, or, Gus made a good point about this horse, don't want to get beat, if the other 2 favorites I like win. I've definitely found
Perfect.
through the years putting in the time there pays more dividends than putting in the time handicapping.
Mhm.
Interesting. I like that.
100%.
So, John, one of the things that John had mentioned that we would like to hear from both Gus and Ed, like I'll start with you, Gus. What's the one thing tomorrow that you're looking for in terms of you're most exciting about for tomorrow in terms of the races,
No,
in terms
Saturday.
of the
They're not going to join us
and
tomorrow, so let's
Saturday?
hear their Saturdays. We heard their
Saturday,
Friday,
well,
so
your
let's
Saturday.
hear their
What are you
Saturday.
most looking for on Saturday? What are you most excited about? Which horse, which race?
I'm excited
Anything.
to see John Quill in the Breeders' Cup Mile.
Mhm.
Okay.
That's my top choice. John Quill, he's going off the 10. I was really impressed. He was really wide at Keeneland last time in the turf mile. I think he's going to get a better trip this time, and he was coming that day, and I think he's going to get the right setup this time. I think the 10-1 might hold up as well. I mean, obviously it's a deep field, but at that value, I'm excited to play him.
That
I
has
like that. I know
the looks of a live long shot.
Yeah,
If I've ever seen one, I agree, Gus.
Yeah, he might be the Spotlight's long shot play of the day.
Oh,
Oh,
All
go
right.
to Briz to find out because I know
yeah.
Gus and I on a
Percent.com.
couple on Saturday.
That's great stuff. Great stuff, Gus. So, Ed, what do you think? Are you most interested in watching, paying attention to, looking for on Saturday, Ed?
My best bet of the weekend, and I would even say in terms of how excited I am to bet this horse of the year. I don't think I've had a horse I've been this excited about. Is Forever Young in the Classic.
Oh, I knew it.
Uh,
Wow.
I thought the
Wow.
Saudi Cup
Wow.
was the race of the year, and both he and Romantic Warrior, who at the time was considered the best horse in the world, albeit turf. He tried dirt, but both of those did not go forward after that race. They reacted to it. There were some other issues, I guess, with Forever Young in the paddock in Dubai, blah, blah, blah. Either way, the time off made sense. The prep was fine. It was a prep. It did what it needed to do. And now he shows up here with a little less mileage than he did when he showed up here last year after Saudi, Dubai, Kentucky Derby, then the time off. Here he had the time off right after Dubai. I'm expecting the performance of his life. I was excited to play him against Sovereignty, so I'm certainly not backing down with that one out. Forever Young, best bet of the weekend.
Wow.
Nice.
Oh,
I love it.
Ed, I
awesome.
got a
Ed, that
question.
is,
Fred, I got a question for Ed. Are
yes.
you excited as much as Classic Empire?
A notch below that.
Okay.
Yeah, that's still the high water mark for sure. But I would say this is Sister Charlie level in the 2018 Philly and Mare Turf,
You nailed that one.
and definitely more than Moira last
There we
year.
go.
So
Wow. Hey, Ed, great stuff. Everybody, John, Gus, Ed, I wish you guys the best of luck tomorrow and this weekend. I know, Gus, you and I and John and Mike will have the pleasure of getting together again tomorrow for another
Not-
happy hour. John, I hope you'll have some more space dust or whatever it is.
Gus is not scheduled tomorrow unless he wants to jump on. If Gus, you're
Gus,
ready to
I
jump on,
apologize.
you can.
I like seeing your face so much. Maybe I was just feeling
No.
that I wanted you to be on
Gus.
the podcast. But
Gus,
if you're not on, we'll miss
our
you. I
guy,
appreciate your
our
help.
guy is out.
Ed,
Sammy,
Yeah, I got some
Sammy bailed
Halloween
out on us.
duties.
So that's right. Yeah.
Sammy's,
Yes.
it's all good.
Yeah, he
Anyway,
has,
listen, I
Halloween
appreciate you
duties.
guys taking.
So
I appreciate you guys taking the time out of your day, time out of your time, doing what you need to do. Again, Gus, Ed, and John, good luck tomorrow. Good luck Saturday. And I appreciate you coming on our Let 'Em Run podcast here and helping us out here. So good luck to everybody.
yeah, let's
All
win
right.
some money.
Thank you.
Let's go,
Great to
guys.
be on with you
All
guys.
right.
Always fun.
Let 'em run.
Okay. Good night, guys. Enjoy and good luck. And don't forget, let 'em run.